Hello, ladies and gentlemen. No, this is not a grave for a tiny goblin. This is actually my garden plot. Now, Garden Sean, could you give us a thumbs up while doing a pose which will hurt your back? Excellent. Yeah, put your face in that. Excellent. The whole idea of this video and possible series is to document the growth of what I'm going to plant in a plot that very much looks like a prison for nature. Garden Sean, do me a massive favour. Turn round, wave with your yellow Mickey Mouse hands, and look like you've won a prize to be there. Brilliant work. But before I can start the planting stage, I have to make sure that the soil is as healthy as possible because it hasn't been touched in 6 months. And as you can see here, in unnecessary, dramatic, slow motion, is Garden Sean using a fork to make sure the soil isn't compacted. What are we planting? Well, we're going to be going with this sweet pepper, which I've actually grown before in 2020 during lockdown. Instead of going absolutely nutty, I got really into gardening, as you can see. And here are some peas, which is what we're also going to be growing in the plot. I love peas. I think they're really interesting and really weird. They kind of have those hands which grab onto bamboo. And this is what the petals look like. You can see the petal kind of poking out there. Along with that, we are going to be growing gorgeous, beautiful sunflowers. I think sunflowers are my favourite things to grow. They're so gorgeous, they're so pretty, they look like your garden's on holiday. And look how tall that sunflower got. And make sure you take into account that I'm actually 7'4". And then he arrived, the Dark Destroyer, the Savager of sunflowers, the twat. When Leo was a puppy, he ripped everything I grew apart. But now he's a kind little sweetheart, so I can start it up again. If you need the toilet, this is your only warning. What you're watching is an important part of getting your soil healthy again. Watering, then turning, then watering again. Don't believe me? Listen to Garden Sean. You see how wet that is? Okay, that's not too bad, but this one should be dry. Do you know what I mean? It looks like we haven't even watered it, and that's because I haven't watered it in maybe like a couple of weeks, and it's been really hot, and it just highlights how much water is actually needed to make sure that the plants get the right amount of nutrients, the right amount of water. Look, that's like bone dry. So we're essentially going to be, bring up to me. So we're pretty much going to water this maybe like another 2 or 3 times, and then I might leave it for a while, come back again, water it, and then plant the peas and the peppers. No, that's the peppers fine there. What was the other thing? Sunflowers, that's it. Delicious sunflowers. I'm going to eat its entire head. Like I did to that baby! It's really bloody difficult being that funny. What you also notice in this sped up footage is there's grass in the left hand corner. Now there's bold patches in our garden, and I was hoping to essentially make some sort of grassy wig. Anyway, here's an interesting fact about why the soil might be dry. There are large trees all around this area. And with large trees come large roots, and because they've been there for decades, maybe even longer, the roots have really made their way across the garden, and no doubt they're underneath here right now, soaking up all that moisture. Now, you might ask, what can you do about that? Nothing other than killing the tree, and I'm not going to do that. That doesn't help either. So, that's all the soil sorted. Well, I'm probably actually going to water it again maybe at 6 o'clock and do the same, sifting through, making sure there's not any rocks and taking away the excess amount of weeds. If there's a ghost in there, I might leave it in there. Maybe it's a fan of gardening. And then, I don't know, I might plant today. I'm actually quite keen on getting rid of the massive overgrown bush and the one over there, and to maximise the amount of sunlight that the plot gets, and then see where we end up. I don't know if this is going to be a series. If it is, then maybe let me know if you'd be interested in seeing it, and then yeah, maybe we'll track the growth of the peas and sunflowers, or the lack of growth. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, let me know. Please watch Moustache Man, and please watch Hooked In. The episodes are coming along really nicely at this current point in time. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.